Welcome back to the League of Puzzle Speedrunners Tetris Attack Speedrun Tournament 2024. We now move back down to the losers bracket, where we will now see the first of our two losers quarterfinals matchups, which are back to VHard, back to best of 5. So 3 wins will win each of these matches, and the first one is going to be a bit of a doozy, if I do say so for myself, as I'm fighting for my tournament life here. So let's take it over to thebfin314, and for the first time in this tournament, Foxy Man, to tell you about this next matchup. Gentlemen, take it away.
Oh yeah, I am so excited. I was so excited when we saw this matchup. I messaged Foxy and I'm like, BFin versus Cards, we're reserving this a week ahead because this is I feel like this is just gonna have a lot of fireworks, and this is cool because this is actually like OG versus new blood, some of the best talent that we've ever seen in this game, and I really can't wait. Like Foxy, I know me and you both have kind of been in and out of the scene a lot recently, but what can you say about these two?
I mean, I've seen Cards play time and time again, and he like always pushes you to the limit where you're like, oh, I don't know. He's like busy running things and he's got all these other things he's doing, but then he like always comes up in the clutch with like the perfect sub 8 time and just the crazy 8 and 9 combo storm after the exact thing he wants to send. I feel like he's like he always is called like kind of Mr. Consistent, knows what he's doing. And Beefin, I don't think I've like watched him live a single time. So I'm just excited to see how he plays, what his style is. Kind of, I know he's been on the grind. He's been putting up crazy times left and right. So I'm excited to see kind of how the new blood versus the old Cards of the Heart, how that will play out. But I'm just excited, and I think this is going to be a great match nonetheless.
Yeah, beefing hard on the grind the past couple years. Hit his first sub 7 time earlier this year, and not only a sub 7 time, good enough for second place on the leaderboard. I have been around to see his streams from time to time, so I've seen a little bit of how he's progressed, but it is like insane. I don't think I've seen someone progress as much as he has in the past couple years. And I would say he has a pretty similar style to Cards, where it's very combo focused, and he has an idea of what he wants to do for everything. When he did do a lot of attempts, a lot of them got reset early because he was not satisfied unless it was like absolutely perfect. But I want to say this is about as even as it gets. And if we look at last year's history, these two did play each other in tournament, went all the way to game 7. So this should be a really juicy one here. It's going to be a best of 5 instead of a best of 7 this time. So I'm hoping that we can go all the way again. But yeah, I guess.
I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff to unfold and see. And if I'm not mistaken, we probably should go to like a tutorial or something. Is that how this works? I haven't been around for a while.
Oh, we're good. We came back from break. Tutorials only at the beginning, so we should be getting into this pretty soon. But
so we're getting into it.
We got a VHard match here, best of 5. I'm not sure who's going to have the advantage here or not, because both of them in that elusive sub 7 club. But here we go. We're going to be seeing it soon. BFin versus Cards of the Heart.
Right now. Okay.
Always
they seem to be queued up. They have their gameplay going. I will notice that Beefin did get a 15-second stage, whereas Cards of the Heart has a 24-second stage. So I think that means Beefin is on fire right now, and Cards is maybe a little rusty.
Oh, that is a good call out right there. If the prediction was still up, I'd say put all your channel points into Beefin, but it might be a little too late for that now. Speaking of which, this actually has a really funny distribution. There's 2,800 channel points on Cards and 40 on Beefin. So if that one guy wins for who picked Beefin, that is a crazy return on investment. It looks like it's 71 times the bet.
So speaking of predictions, who do you got, Forky?
Oh, this is tough. It's like, I feel like on paper you want to pick Beefin. I feel like he's had the more consistent times. I could be wrong there. Having played him earlier in the tournament, and he got a sub 7 hard time against me and just a really low average. But you can never count out cards. But you know what? If I had to pick someone, I'm gonna go with the new blood and say thebfin314.
Interesting. So I don't know if people know because I haven't been around for a little while, but I was the stats guy who would run a bunch of simulations, and I actually ran 1,000,000 simulations before this match to see how this would go, and Cards actually won 110 out of 100 of them. So I think it's gonna be Cards. Cards in 4 is my prediction.
Yeah, and this is why we fired him as our stats guy, I think. But we're underway just like that. It looks like some clears right off the bat here from Lakitu. And you hate to see that at the beginning, but Lakitu has been known to do that on V-Hard. If I'm correct, compared to like the next 5 stages after this, you usually want to send at least 1, maybe 2 more lines, especially in a race format.
I really don't understand. I mean, if anyone understands how this game works, it's Cards. But I really don't understand how in every single mode of this game, whether it's like Pokemon Puzzle League or whatever, the first stage is always just weirdly annoying. And yeah, for whatever reason, it always requires a couple more lines. The AI acts just a little bit differently. But after a couple 30-second stages, we have Cards with a beautiful attack for a 10-second stage. Beefin not too far behind, 18 seconds. They're pretty even so far, but I mean, the game is all about who can get to cave first and kind of minimize the amount of RNG that can happen after that. So really, it's not over till it's over.
I love that attack that Beefin did on stage 2, though. He only had I think it was a 3-chain that he sent, but he had a 9-combo opener for it. Oh, he's a little bit short on this attack, though, and it gets a clear at the top. Hopefully this does not lead into a chain at the top. I think we're safe.
Yeah, I think Cards may have been watching my gameplay a little too much this tournament, where you just send a bunch of combos and hope it works. But it did work that time, and he got a 17-second stage. Beefin, meanwhile, 27-second stage. But that's not really like Cards doing anything right. I think that's more getting a little lucky, the AI not punishing him too much.
It's hard to find that perfect balance since there is a good amount of RNG, because if you do go for that strat of sending a whole bunch of combos and that's pretty much it, one clear can ruin your day. And if the opponent finds any kind of wiggle room, you might not see it much for the beginning since they're not actively going for chains. But if they do just happen to get a few lucky clears here and there, it can extend the stage out by 20, maybe even 30 seconds.
So I'm curious to hear from you. What are you typically thinking about when you're playing a V-Hard stage? Kind of how many lines you're going for? What's your plan of attack that we should expect from these competitors?
Well, especially in a race format, I think there is like a certain static amount of lines that you want to send, and you want to, of course, try to weave in your combos while you're doing it. I think it's something like 6 or 7 lines here. You might want to go for maybe even 8 or 9 in some cases, depending on if you're in the lead or not too. But yeah, trying to weave those in. If you're having a difficult time trying to find those combos, that's when you want to extend your chain out a little bit more. But that shake time can be a little bit shaky. We see Beefin also going for this combo spam method, and there's the clear that I mentioned earlier. You got all these panels that are going to fall down now. He got pretty lucky here. No clears falling into place, though, so he's going to make it out at 49 seconds, but you hate to see it.
Yeah, like, in my opinion, the real big difference between, or one of the differences between V-Hard and Hard is in Hard mode, you can often get away with combo spam, but in V-Hard, the AI is just a little quicker. And if they get into a situation where they start clearing the combos you send on top, which happened in Beefin stage last time, then you can kind of get stuck in a spiral where they keep clearing, you're just sending combos, and it just goes over and over again. Whereas usually in like the earlier stages or in Hard mode, you won't see as much of that kind of cyclical clearing combos and able to kind of keep up Whereas in V Hard, that can just go on for a long time. And that's really what's been the difference here so far, and why Cards has this lead through Lunchfish so far. But again, everything comes down to the cave, and we'll just have to see how it plays out then.
Nice 23 on Cards, despite getting cleared on. He sent a nice 5-chain attack, I believe, at the beginning with some combos mixed through, and the opponent barely got to a 4 combo, but nothing too nasty on the follow-up. It looks like Bfin's gonna kind of have a similar stage here on Lunchfish. The combo's coming down to finish it off. Yep, just 1 second, a little bit quicker. Or slower, rather.
Yeah, and I definitely think of Lunchfish and Raven kind of being their own part of the game, where definitely more than Blarg and the other kind of pre-cave stages, they end up going lower. You have to send a lot more, and you have to get really lucky to get a kind of quick kill on these stages. Whereas kind of a 25-second like Cards gets is kind of more typical for these stages, I'd say. But yeah, Cards going into the cave around 5:30. That's definitely on the slower side than what he's looking for. I feel like 5 minutes is kind of the goal that the top competitors usually want to hit. But in his good for him is that Bfin is also behind kind of the typical times he'd be looking for. And so yeah, given that clear on Hookbill from Card's side, it could really go anywhere at this point, and Bfin could get a quick kill. Cards could get stuck in a chaining cycle, and we're just gonna have to see what happens. Bfin with a really nice attack will have just enough combos to top off Hookbill, but it's not gonna be enough because Hookbill is gonna find a clear. But I don't see an answer right here.
Oh no!
The second tier. Oh my gosh. You hate to see it.
Chaining continues at the bottom. That was a little bit of a precarious situation. We could talk forever about timing of when to send chains and stuff. Bfin sent his chain just a little bit too slow to where the shake time didn't expire. So while Hookbill was doing the down stacking, that shake time persisted every time it dropped down. And if he would have sent it just a hair earlier, I think it would have expired and he would have gotten that kill much earlier and not been down by 20 seconds as he is right now. But a clear also happening on Card's side. These opponents giving each other chances to catch back up right now. Oh, and a frame perfect kill.
So if you've played this game enough, like the situation Cards was in right there, there's so many combo lines of carbon garbage he sent, but it just means that there's some chance with all those kind of interleaved combo garbage that things can fall and make a chain. And if a chain occurs, then the AI gets so much more stop time, and that can be a really bad stage. Fortunately, there were no chains immediately, and so Cards was able to get out of that relatively unscathed. But yeah, there's only about a 15 second difference or so at this point. So we're gonna have to see how these last two stages go, but Cards not looking great if Kamek's able to get the clear, and Kamek does get the clear. He has a chain on top, and so it's just about, is Kamek gonna find a chain, and kind of which Kamek does. So this could be really bad on Cards and Bfin. If he wants to kind of clean this up and finish this out, this is his time to do it, and he does take the lead right there.
Another clear on Cards side.
Cards, on the other hand, is gonna get chained on over and over again. And again, this all goes back to he sent a little too many combos in the first attack. It got cleared, and it just started this cycle. And once that cycle starts, it's really up to like RNG to see how it finishes out.
Second tier, all the garbage is completely invisible and gone on Card's side. He did have the combo follow-ups because there was like basically no time left. But all these attacks by Bfin, a little bit of luck here at the end might get him the kill. A chain coming in from Bowser. There's going to be 2 pillars here. Let's see how the down stack goes. A chain to slow it down just a little bit, and the clear comes out. So if and there's a chain that's going to drop Cards.
Oh, he broke it.
What the heck, Bowser?
And he wins because of it. Oh my god, the chain was right there, and Bowser cleared to get rid of the chain that was just ready to fall. I will say Bfin sent an amazing attack on that last Bowser stage. It was like a 3-chain with some combos to follow up, which kind of sets him up for like the perfect quick kill on these last stages. whenever Bowser raises high. Bowser did waste a little bit of time, but the combos were there on Beefin's side, and he cleaned that out in style. Meanwhile, it was really just down to that Kamek stage for cards that made all the difference. And so Beefin is going to get the first star.
I was super impressed with Beefin's play for, especially in the cave, but for majority of that. He had a kill, I think it was on Piranha or Kamek, where he was just finding 9 combos with ease, which is a really good number to find, just panel efficiency-wise. It skips having a 4 combo in that block, and they stack much nicer, because if you happen to just spam too many 4 combos, you're going to like waste a little bit of your panel efficiency, and it stacks much nicer. Beefin does a good job of stacking them up over and over. He had like a very small chain, and needed to send, I think it was 10 lines of garbage, and he had enough combos all stacked up on top and was able to get, I think, a sub 20 kill because of it. And I think if he was maybe just even 1 line short, that could have wasted potentially 20 seconds, and maybe we see a whole different game here.
Yeah, like, so when I was going into, I think it was either winners finals or something back in the 2022 tournament, I tried to lab out V-Hard so much and like figure out exactly the right strategy in the cave and do everything I can to like kind of optimize the hell out of it. And I tried out like sending a bunch of 3 chains and doing kind of factory strategy against the cave opponents, and then I tried a bunch of like heavy combo game with the short chain attack to try to minimize shake time. And at the end of the day, what I found was like the best thing is basically do what Yoshi does. And what Yoshi does is find those 9 combos you were talking about and just spam the hell out of them after your first attack. And because the 5 combos are 4 wide, as you said, they stack nicely and they don't kind of interleave with each other. So they're most optimal combo to send. And the other thing that sometimes kind of gets forgotten about is the fact that they have so much less shake time than even sending a 6 combo, the 5 wide garbage block. And if you can see sometimes, if you send too many 6 combos in the 5 wide blocks, they actually give a lot amount of shake time to those last stage opponents that can get them to find the chains and end up trolling a lot longer.
Looks like we are off into race number 2 here. We're going to have quite a bit of a time difference here. Looks like 16 seconds. So don't keep that in mind as we're going. Beefin does finish the stage at 13 seconds, but we won't know how big that lead is until we see how Cards does here at the beginning too. But pretty good opener from Beefin, a good one from Cards here too. Drops it pretty early. With that 8 combo follow-up, it's going to be good enough for 15. So great start for both of our competitors.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I did notice Cards' stream went to an ad break on Twitch, and I wonder if that ad break alone is like what caused this 16 second delay.
It's possible. I know it did cause me to be a little bit hungry, even though I just ate. It looked pretty delicious.
Can we spam some Doritos in chat?
One day we'll get that sponsorship, but dang, look at Cards. He's like, you know what? I don't care about the stream delay. I'm just going to beat your time by 15 seconds and erase that. So Cards taking a pretty big lead here after Bumpty. 2 very quick stages for him. We'll get to really see how these starting combos and chains differ from both of the players right now. I mean, I feel like they're very similar on how they send in the beginning, because both of them have that optimal mindset and want to keep small attacks. And look, even Beefin having 3-4 combos at the bottom there ends up getting a really quick time, and Cards not to be outdone with a 16 second on his side as well.
Yeah, my only complaint on Beefin's side was he sent the 7 combo when he could have easily made it into a 6 combo. But aside from that, the 7 combo didn't even drop down. It was a really great attack, gets rewarded with a good time. And oh my god, what is this lag chain on Card's side? Card's showing why he wrote the book on this game. Beautiful attack, 12-second kill. If you go and watch like any of Yoshi's streams or how he plays the game, especially his PBs. It's just stage after stage. That's just the 3-chain with like a huge swath of combos that drop exactly what we just saw on Cards Aside. And so really, if you're able to get that consistently, that's like one of the best ways to just get those really quick 12-second stage kills.
Ooh, Beefin a little bit short on his opener here, trying to do some combo spam at the beginning. I think Froggy's going to be able to downstack this a little bit. We got to hope this is enough. 3 more lines dropping down, and it will be good. So no panic on Beefin's side, even though he dropped this first chain really short. He just had the vision to find those combo follow-ups, and I really think that's what separates all these top players. Obviously, they have their consistency, and most of the time they won't drop it. But even when they do drop it, their follow-ups are far above what you would see from an average player.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I rely on that way too much. But there's a reason I'm commentating right now and they're playing, because they are both consistent and know how to kind of clean up with the combo attack afterwards.
I'm right with you there, especially the last match I had. So many openers were dropped. I mean, we are part of the Tetris Attacker fan club now, being both eliminated by him one after another. We'll get to see him a little bit later on stream if you are tuning in live with us, which that is exciting. He is also on a really great tournament run, and he has a good chance at making top 4 for the first time in a few years, I think.
Yeah, I remember I forget which tournament, but there was some tournament that I remember TA had like an amazing breakout performance. But yeah, he's one of the people who's kind of like, at least back when I was more active, he was like always so close to like doing well, but would lose in like a game 5 or get reverse swept or something like that. So I'm really happy to see him go on this crazy losers run and potentially get the opportunity to face one of these crazy players that we're watching right now.
Can you imagine him or Ty ends up winning that, and then your path to victory ends up being either Cards or Beefin. If you are lucky enough to win that, you get to play FFR, and then your prize for grand finals is trying to beat Yoshi in 2 sets.
I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on if you're playing in the tournament right now or if you're just watching the tournament, there's just so many people who are so good and like also getting to the point where they're also like super evenly matched. So really, you can't reliably predict anyone to kind of go too far at any point in this tournament, because there's so many heavy hitters just all along the way, and we've seen that time and time again. And
we are,
for
back
instance,
to the
I mean,
cave,
both
though.
these players are in the losers bracket right now, and they're playing out of their minds. They've gotten multiple sub 8 and V hards in tournaments. So,
oh, scary situation here on Beefin's side. The down stack. Oh, the freaking perfect kill, but Cards not as lucky as the clear comes out. I thought Cards was going to be the one who'd come out of this quicker, because he had opposite pillars on both sides, but Hookbill just enough time to downstack, and now he's chaining on second tier. Oh my god, you hate to see it. Please no clear. All right, Cards manages to get out of there. That was a crazy kill on Beefin's side, though. That is the second time alone in this series that we've seen him get a frame perfect kill. The first one, not as detrimental, but that one could have been really bad.
I'm just amazed by the poise that Beefin has while playing this game. Like, I don't know. For me, whenever I get a frame perfect kill, I'm like exuberant. Like, I feel like I just won the lottery. And I feel like every single time.
Speaking of lottery,
he gets like the craziest luck. Oh my god. I almost missed it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes it's worth it when we've seen 8-second Cards bouncing back. He needed that, but keep in mind we do have that time disparity here, so Cards, I think, is a little bit in the lead here.
Yeah, he's probably got about a 6-second lead or something. And Kamek's chaining on Beefin's side, so Cards is able to get a really good Kamek raise, but he will start chaining, unfortunately. But Kamek stopped chaining a 4 combo. That's a huge pillar. That's going to be a lot of down stacking. If Card sent enough combos and doesn't stall it out, this could be good, but he'll get to the yellow clear.
Oh, and second tier happening on Beefin's side too. One swap away from the blues, but not enough time to get there. Cards might get this kill too. Oh my, just enough time to get the horizontal. Keeps finding clears. Oh no, you hate to see it. These cave opponents are not treating either person well, but Cards still has a really good chance here. This might just be him down by a couple seconds actually.
I
We'll
literally
see.
don't know who's in the lead right now.
It might be tied. It honestly might be tied right now.
It could be
So
exactly tied.
we need to keep an eye on how these Bowsers perform, because I think the person with the faster Bowser is going to win this match. So a clear on Beefin's side first here. Here comes some combo follow-ups. The greens get cleared in a chain, and an 8 combo to clear the garbage. Meanwhile, on Card's side, chaining happening from Bowser as well.
They both sent really good attacks. I feel like...
God,
oh!
There's the kill on Beefin's side. What's Card's going to be? Oh my god.
Cards definitely got that. I think it was 814 to 826 or something.
He did. So I got a little confused because their Bowsers cleared at the same time, but that was definitely Cards' race because it was about 10 seconds quicker. So that is a Cards victory with an 814 to an 824. We have ourselves a tied series. You gotta love how V-Hard works sometimes. Both players can get trolled quite a bit. And the next round, each person can improve by 30 seconds or even a full minute. And sometimes it's not good enough. 853 wins your first race, but an 824 does not win your second race.
Yeah, and the slowest time so far is 9:19. That's just truly crazy. I'm sure we're probably going to see some slower times, but the fact of 4 races, 4 runs, all below 9, that's the kind of consistency that we expect at this point in the bracket, and is why these players are just playing out of their mind, and why any of these matches can go any way, because anyone, whether you're Yoshi or FFR or Cards or Beefin or TA or Ty, anyone can put up, just by dumb luck, something that's 10 minutes plus. So the fact that people are so consistently under 9 minutes means anyone could win any race at any given time.
It's just crazy to see progression from players or the player base in general, as someone who's been around also as long as Cards has been. And our first speedrun tournament we ever had was Tetris Attack all the way back in 2016. It was unheard of, really, for consistency in races to even be below 9 minutes. Like, our top of the top players were rattling off 8 minutes. I think maybe we even only saw one 7-minute time the whole tournament, I want to say. It was a whole bunch of 8-minute times. But it's so commonplace now to see some 7-minute times just rattled off, especially in these, like, top 6 matches. And, I mean, if you tuned into the Yoshi and FFR match just before that, Yoshi was getting low 7-minute times. I'm not sure if we've had a 6-minute V-Hard time in tournament in the past. And if we have, I wouldn't be surprised. And if we haven't, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens soon.
I mean, there's only been like a handful of sub-7 V-Hard times ever recorded, I think. So I don't think we've seen any in tournament.
Oh, I'm calling it here. I'm going to manifest it. Maybe with one of these guys. That'd be pretty hype. But I bet we see a sub-7 by the end of the tournament. But it's just like, it's crazy to me that it wouldn't surprise me, because that's just how good people have gotten. I've seen Yoshi doing attempts so many times, and he's gotten so many runs that have been like PB pace, easily sub-7, and kind of like crash and burn due to RNG. But actually, Yoshi typing in chat right now, 704 is the best we've seen in past tournaments. So we'll have to see if one of our competitors can beat that, as we're off in race 3. It's going to be about a 10 or 11 second gap between the players.
I will say Beefin had a setup for a 5 combo at the end there, If he would have gotten that, probably could have saved about 6 seconds. Meanwhile, Lakitu is down
Oh
at the
my
floor and only
God.
combos are sent. This is not looking good for him. Not the way you want to start. Basically resetting from 0, given that the clear just happened. And yeah, any point there could be a chain, but there's no chains, fortunate for him. So he's going to go with no garbage on Lakitu's screen.
How does Lakitu downstack to 2 lines like at 10 seconds into the match? That is just wild. But we got bfin taking advantage of that pretty bad luck on card side from Lakitu. He's going to come out with a 15-second here on Bumpty. Playing well, finding some good combos, even if it's like not maybe the most efficient, but he's so quick at finding these lag chains like you see there and finding some more clears. It seems like his eyes are always on the move to find something. And I like how you pointed out last race that it seems like he is always composed, no matter if it is a very close kill that was like 1 frame away from being cleared and ruining like 20 seconds, or if he gets like a 10-second kill of his own. He's showing no excitement, no nervousness. He is focused and not letting anything bother him right now.
Cards with a big old chain with some lag chains in there too, but he needed all of it. He had a few more lines of combos to go with that, but Poochie going real low. Meanwhile, Wiggler. Oh, damn, already on Wiggler. Wiggler on bfin's side went for a random 4 combo that is not going to help him out whatsoever, and is probably going to take the lead, I would assume here. But with the time delays, yeah, that's got to be a lead. It's kind of hard to tell who's actually in the lead, especially given what we saw at the end of the last game where bfin's stream ended first, but Cards ended up winning. And again, oh my god, Wiggler all the way on the floor. This should be a crush. That's a 1-line crush. Almost ran completely out of panels.
Yeah, Car's opponent's not being too nice to him right now, doing a lot of clears. I really like how you put that, though. Like, dang, we were on Wiggler already, because even despite some of these trolls, our players are progressing really, really fast in this match right now. We'll see how Cards begins this next attack. Oh, a little bit early, I want to think, on that insert, and he ended up closing out his chain a little bit early. But look at this beautiful follow-up. This is what I'm saying, a top player. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. They don't get flustered. They're immediately on the attack, get a nice little lag chain, a 9-combo follow-up. Look at all this garbage that's sprinkling at the top. There's probably 2 or 3 more lines that we weren't able to see up there because Cards is just that good at finding garbage attacks.
I mean, you talk about how good Cards is, but bfin has not had a bad stage yet, I'm pretty sure. He's moving into Lungefish.
Oh my
4
god.
time with a beautiful attack. Oh, could he get a quick kill right here?
Please
he
let
might
him
not
get
have
the
spent
kill.
enough with how the down stack is going to play out.
That was
But this
so
could be a crush.
well done.
Oh, the greens.
That is sad. He played that so well, found a 9 combo at the tail end of his attack. And once again, the chain shake time stayed a little bit too long. And please,
Goes
oh my
for the
god.
5 combo.
Bless the opponents sometimes for actually extending out those combos. That would have pained my soul if that went on too much longer. That is like the pure definition of this game, when you have a beautiful attack and it just gets ruined. And you know what? If your Cards side, you know,
and Cards AI did the exact same thing, went for a 5 chain or 5 combo, completely unnecessary, and Cards got a 10-second kill out of it. So he's definitely back in the game. I think it's about even with the time delay on the streams.
Oh, bfin's Raphael really, really low. Keeps doing
This should
clears.
be a crush if there's enough garbage on top, and there is. Oh, it was technically not a crush. Raven could have gotten to the greens to get the clear there.
Meanwhile, Cards side, he was a little bit short on his beginning attack too, but a nice little 4-chain follow-up here with some garbage at the top.
Ooh,
Luckily, the purples got
purple.
interrupted there, or else that could have been a lot more time wasted.
Man, Cards is getting exactly the luck that he needs to stay in this. Like, we talk about how bad the luck is sometimes, but also sometimes it works out. You never know how it's gonna go.
It's like his opponents have been clearing a lot, but he's also just had these really fortunate incidental clear like Raphael had there, or going for the 5 combo, which led to his 10-second attack. But once again in the cave here, and so far, Hookbill not being too nice to our players. 35 seconds for Beefin, while some more chaining happening on Card's side. This is not good. Extend it out to a 5. Make that a 6 here at the bottom. It looks like enough garbage follow-up, though, and there's a crush.
I was about to say, Hookbill was like in that just sweet spot of chaining enough that it looked like it could have resulted in a crush kill. But at the same time, there were some greens there that could have caused problems. But fortunately, the AI did not go for the clear and just tried to downstack, and that is not going to work for them. And Cards will again be happy with that turn of events.
Oh, Beefin with a really nice attack, once again finding the 9 combo, but there was a really early unfortunate clear from Piranha's side. Gonna have to wait for all this clear time. Meanwhile, Cards has an attempt to maybe get a clear. Oh, there's a chain that falls down. It does not get extended though. All the purples got ruined again there, but still.
Reds.
Oh man, sometimes the opponent. I think the opponent's playing with our minds right now too. Piranha doing kind of a little bit of both. I thought we were gonna see some deja vu with the opponent ruining their clears, but managed to find the reds at the end of the day. So it looks like Beefin's gonna keep a small lead here, but it's still very, very close as we're heading into the final 2 stages.
Yeah, it really is super even. And as you saw there, Beefin gets the 8 combo, then follows it up with a 9 combo to make sure it just gets the perfect amount of lines that don't interleave at all. See if he'll get rewarded, or unfortunately Kamek will be chaining. But the pillars is going to make this really awkward to downstack, especially with the combo sent. But the chain that was sent actually caused some extra delay, but fortunately for Beefin, is not going to be punished too much for that.
Man, we're seeing a lot of clears in the cave. One happening on Card's side too, but he's going to get the more favorable fight here. And I think we might be like tied again going into Bowser. I'm not too sure, but we'll see.
Bowser's going to decide yet another one.
Looks like a pretty good opening lag chain that's going to cut early, but this could be good depending on how much Bowser chains. His chain's going to get cut off, and there's going to be some down stacking. It depends how much...
This could be really bad for Beefin. I don't know if he's sent enough, if Bowser's able to get a clear, and yeah, that's the problem.
Meanwhile, Cards could be in an advantageous position. He's also going to be a little bit short. I think Bowser is going to get the clear anyways, but look, he's got at least that 1 pillar there. Maybe enough time, but a lot of shake in the second tier clear. Oh my god, this could be anyone's game.
Yeah, it's a really interesting situation where I don't think either of them really sent the opener that they wanted to. The difference was that Cards, I think, followed up with an extra chain, whereas Beefin's only been sending combos, and that's just getting cleared and leading to this cycle that happens over and over again. And yeah, Beefin's getting punished for that. But yeah, unfortunate for Beefin. This probably was an avoidable Bowser. He could have taken home the win. But I mean, in the heat of the moment, it's hard to know. And part of you just like, at least when I'm playing, I'm just like, I just want to send combos. I want to get the quick kill and be done with it. But sometimes you get punished. And so we're seeing that happen. But Cards, on the other hand, we talked about that sub-9 consistency that these players have. He's able to pull out the 838, get the second star, and move on. 1 win away from moving on in the bracket.
And I gotta think a little bit if Beefin has that like RTA mentality of him grinding runs, because if he is still sticking with that combo heavy play style, you can see a lot of variance. It's like the cool thing about doing it is your peak times can be so low and can pretty much beat anyone in the tournament. But if you have a situation like he did on Bowser there, like it was he had a good chance to win that race, but just because he was a little bit short and some unfortunate clears came out, that cost him over a minute lost on Bowser alone. and you hate to see that. And it's hard to say what's the right strategy to go with, because if you go with a more chain heavy style, it's like you're for sure sacrificing that time loss at the beginning. It might be a consistent kill at the end of the day, because it wastes that time in the beginning, and your opponent has less panels of their own to work with, since they're only clearing one row at a time. But I don't think there's a definitive answer. I'd say if you're watching your opponent and you know you're ahead, I personally would maybe go a little bit more chain heavy, just to avoid situations like bfin's Bowser there. But I don't know, honestly. I'm a ninth place buster. Who am I to tell the players what to do, right?
Well, as a seventh place, also buster, I will say that I think one strategy that tends to be pretty conservative and works out more than it's kind of less variance is if you mess up your first attack in the cave, especially those late stage cave opponents in V-Hard, just with your second attack, just pretend like you're starting from the beginning again, send your 4-chain, 5-chain opener with combos on top, and that usually will kind of keep the worst case scenario from happening. I know players like Six, I think, are pretty good about, if you mess up your first attack, just forget it happened, send a solid chain follow-up as if you're starting from ground zero, and usually that will reduce the kind of bad stages. And when it comes to these tournament settings, reducing bad stages is usually what it comes down to.
And I think bfin has done a really good job of that in this entire series. It's just really unfortunate that that Bowser was the only time that really affected him poorly. But I'm hoping he can keep the strong mental that we've been seeing for most of the match here. He sends a decent attack that gets cut off, but Lakitu is going to be able to downstack a little bit here. I don't know if this follow-up's going to be enough, since it's 2-4 combos at the top. I think thankfully he's going to get the kill here still, because Lakitu didn't have anything. Meanwhile, Cards, a much better attack here. It's going to be 7 line sent at the beginning, but still not enough, because a little bit of Lakitu is down stacking. Not the same luck on his board, as Lakitu has a clear lined up. So bfin will be taking the lead here at the beginning.
Yeah, we talked about it at the top of the stream, but the first stage, I don't know why, they just always go so low, and both the competitors get punished a little bit for that, just not sending quite enough. And yeah, again, bfin doesn't send quite enough there, gets cleared on, but if there's no chains, this should be a pretty quick kill at 23 seconds. Cards, on the other hand, a lot's fallen in a weird way and doesn't quite get the chain extension. But the 9 combo here will definitely be enough, and the AI will not be quick enough, and that's still a 13-second kill. So very quick follow-up gets rewarded for that.
It's crazy. I think some of these players are too good, and they'll try to find their setups a little bit early. I think what happened on Card's board was he was trying to weave in that lag chain, but ended up being a little bit too cluttered, and that's why that first chain dropped. But still, easy follow-ups that he was able to find and get a very, very fast time here. Meanwhile, bfin did get cleared on Poochie here, still with a nice little 21-second time, but Cards getting the 16-second Poochie, and due to the delay here, Cards will be in the lead. Foxy, who's your favorite Tetris Attack character? Out of curiosity.
Oh, that's tough. So I think same as you, I grew up more playing Pokemon Puzzle League than Tetris Attack. So I don't think I have the same level of loyalty in Tetris Attack as Pokemon Puzzle League. But whenever I play PvP, I do like choosing Lungefish, because I feel like Lungefish is so annoying for the opponent, and usually I also have my sound off too. So I feel like Lungefish is probably one of my favorites.
I have the same thing as you, where I had kind of a preferable pick due to PvP, since it was the standard characters. Mine was personally Bumpty, and I think it's just because I like the music a lot for it. I think kind of off topic, but something that I don't really like about Tetris Attack, since most of the time when you're playing high level matches, you're in the danger music the whole time. The like music loops, some of them are literally like 6 or 7 seconds long. I'm like, man, we need like a 2-minute long song. It gets really repetitive, but you don't really see that a lot with some of the Tetris attack ones, which fair reason. It's an early game and not much space on the card to fit a lot of really intricate pieces.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I'm playing, I'm really not thinking about the music too much. So I couldn't even tell you how most of the songs go, despite having put way too many hours into this game.
But anyway, let's get back on topic here. Cards kind of cruising a little bit now as bfin's kind of had a little bit of some unlucky stages these past 2 times. This lead looks like to be about maybe 20 seconds right now. Card's going to have this 8 combo opener, going to extend it out to a 5 chain. So this is going to be 7 lines of garbage here. Very nice send for Lunchfish. There's going to be a lot of shake, but honestly, I kind of like this because it's really hard to avoid a clear from Lunchfish and Raphael. So getting that clear out of the way a little bit early and just making sure your follow-ups there can lead to something kind of decent, but Lunchfish kind of trolling. Luckily, the purple didn't come out, and bfin's going to make up a little bit of time here.
Yeah, I will say on that stage against Lunchfish, Cards had a super cool setup on the opening chain with a 5 combo into a 5 combo that actually I think ended up falling as a 5 combo into an 8 combo that was a little unexpected, and he kind of had to just kind of wing the rest of it from there on, but still ended up with a really strong attack. Unfortunately, just got trolled a little bit by Lunchfish for a bit of a slow stage. But again, 31 seconds on stage 7 and stage 8. I don't think of it as being too bad. You can kind of live with it, and as long as you can kind of clean it up in the cave and not get any too bad of luck, you can still get very decent times in V-Hard.
Oh, unfortunately, Cards Raphael went down to 2 lines, did a couple of clears afterwards, and bfin still slowly making up some time. Cards holding on to a little bit of a lead right now, but once again, it seems anytime these guys get to the caves, you don't even need the caves to even out the race. It's getting even before the caves, which is just wild because, as we all know, there's so much variance here, and we're going to see what Hook Build does to bfin here first. The chain drops, but he gets another 5 combo to fall at the bottom. There's going to be a lot of garbage follow-up here at the top. No shake time, and bfin with a very impressive 15-second kill. Well, you know what? Maybe Cards also another very impressive 15-second kill.
That looks like it's about to be a 15-second kill as well, and they're just staying so close to each other. I again think Cards has this ever so slight lead, but man, these players are so even. It's crazy to watch. And again, it's crazy to think that we're saying this about someone who, to the best of my knowledge, bfin didn't really play the game much more before a couple years ago.
No, the purple's downstacked right into the spot there. bfin had such a good attack too. Finds another 9 combo. And yeah, I don't know what his past history before picking this up in speedrunning is. I mean, I think everyone who gets into this game had some kind of playtime of this as a kid, but I don't know how long of a break he took in between that, like if he ever did some casual playthroughs here and there over the years. But it kind of looks like he's just been playing this his whole life by the way he's playing. He is going to take the lead back here as Cards is having a very unfortunate Piranha who's down stacking and gonna get the blue clears to fall into place too. bfin with the chance here to get maybe a quick kill on Kamek, but the chains are coming out and that clear does drop. So Cards is going to need a little bit of trolling here from Kamek because this Piranha plan is just going so bad for him.
Yeah, and he's in a situation where he even had to make sure to raise his stack just to be able to send enough garbage in order to top off Piranha Plant, which means if Piranha sent even 1 or 2 more lines, he could have been in real big trouble there.
Oh, very fortunate for bfin. No stop time at all there for Kamek. There was multiple clears, and I think it was just combo garbage at the top. So that could have been really bad, giving Kamek a full board of panels, and if one of those drops as a chain, you're looking at maybe 20, 30 seconds more in the match. But because it was not a clear, Beefin, this is his race to lose here. Going into Bowser, let's see if he plays combo heavier, extends out his chain. He gets a 4 here at the beginning, and Cards, the 14th second, this is what he needs to stay in the race. He needs some help from Bowser here, who is doing some chains at the beginning. He's going to need to save a clear at the top. 9, almost a 10 chain, but got ruined by the clear, and the blues are going to be in place, so this is what Card needs. There is a chance. Cards needs, he needs to play super aggressive here and hope to get lucky, though, because it looks like Beefin will be getting this kill here soon. And remember, there is that delay here, so Cards...
Bowser down stacking, no immediate clear. Oh, he's going to start chaining, though.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, and if... Wait, is Beefin... Beefin's screwed. He doesn't have enough panels to send garbage. He almost might even reset.
Wait, he's got yellows. He's got yellows.
But he doesn't have enough garbage to send.
He doesn't.
What about I think he should honestly just reset right here. But Cards finishing, I mean, this could go on for another minute at least, because you're just chaining off the garbage. This is not going to go well.
Oh, no. Beefin's going to have nightmares about Bowser. He did not treat him well at all in this series. That 9 chain coming at the beginning, I think part of Beefin's attack, since he's pretty combo heavy, if he gets a situation like that and Bowser just finds those clears, I mean, you have no panels on your screen to work with, and you got to deal with clearing out a 9 chain. So Bowser has a good chance to clear out his entire board, and that's the difference in this match. Another rough Bowser for Beefin. Cards clutching it out, gets his 3rd victory in a row, and will be taking the series 3-1. Man, I feel for Beefin there.
I will say I did run a million simulations, and 110 out of 100 had Cards winning in 4, and Cards did win in 4. So I think it was destined to be the case. But really, that's a huge win from Cards. Again and again, it was the sub 9-minute times that typically won the race. And then they both had really good times in the second race. In fact, both of their best times were in the second race. And it just happened to be the case that Cards was the one who came out on top there. But yeah, amazing performance from both players. Unfortunately, this will be the end of Beefin's tournament, which just feels hard to say given how well he's been playing. He put up a sub 8 against Yoshi in his previous match I saw. So he's been out of this world playing super well. But Cards, you can never count him out. He's the 2nd seed for a reason. And he's the one who's going to take this race, take the 3rd star. And honestly, he could go throughout and take the whole tournament. You can never count this guy out.
I mean, even with this guy full on going content creation anymore, not focusing less seriously on speedruns, running the tournament at the same time, we got to mention he's running the stream while doing this race. There's just something about it. He always performs, and I could be wrong. Has he finished top 4 in every tournament that we've had? At least top 5. But this man knows how to perform in a live setting, to say the least.
He had a top 3 finish for streak for a while. I think that broke at some point, but I don't know what his worst placing so far has been. But I mean, again, there's so many good players that he's always going to be at the top. He's always going to be someone who can pull out the best times just seemingly out of nowhere. And this maybe wasn't the exact way he wanted to win this. For both players, I'd have to say both players are definitely capable of doing better, but they both put an incredible performance and show on for us today. But Cards is just the one who happens to get the right Bowsers, the right Kameks that finish it out. And Beefin, it really came down to Bowsers in almost all the races, and he just either messed up his opening or just got a little unfortunate luck. And that was really the difference maker. There's 12 stages, but really one stage at the end of the day really decided it all in most of the races.
Yeah, GG's to Beefin. It's been a pleasure seeing him, but we got to give him his due. Cards of the Heart is your victor today. Taking it over Beefin 3-1. Let's see that cheese from you, Cards. Give us that thumbs up. We'd love to see it. Maybe throw in a Fortnite dance for us. I know you can do some flossing, you know? I know you're a big Fortnite fan. Cards talks about it all the time, how Fortnite's his favorite game out there. They're
There's a
gonna
pretty big overlap between Tetris Attack and Fortnite players, I must say.
Yes. You build in both games. Well, I actually don't even build in Fortnite anymore, so never mind. But yeah, congrats to Cards. Well earned. It's great to see him in a top 4 again. And we'll see it in the bracket here pretty soon, but Cards got upset early by Ty, which has happened in a previous tournament before. So this guy is on a huge losers bracket run, and I got a feeling this is not going to slow down anytime soon. Yes, the dev! Yes! All right, Cards. You earned my respect, and I'm rooting for you going forward now. Oh, God, that's too funny.
I had to do
Beefin.
it. I had to do it.
Yes. Well played, Cards. We're going to be seeing you in the top 4 playing the winner of Ty versus Tetris Attacker. How are you feeling after that, Cards? That was such an entertaining match to watch.
My hands... This happens to me every single time I get into a match. My hands will not warm up for the life of me. Like, something about the nerves of tournament time nowadays just get my hands all sorts of clammy and cold, and it's hard for me to perform at the level that I need to beat some of these top players. Like the fact that I was even able to get that 8-14 in game 2 feels unreal, because my hands don't want to play to that kind of level when it comes to the cameras being on. In fact, I was doing some practice runs last night as I was about to go to bed, and in 3 runs I rattled off 2 sub-8s. So there's just something different about the stage that brings out something different in me, and Beefin definitely had to bring out quite a bit to get me to this level. So GG's to Beefin, a very well played tournament all around. Such a shame that he's not going to be guaranteed a part of our prize pool this time around. But you know, if you're watching and you want to get more of our players paid from this tournament, we've got a Stream Elements page you can send direct tips to and get that goal of $500. We'll pay out the top 8. So that'll make this sting a little bit less for our players. But yeah, that was
Porky could really use some of that
ahead.
top 8 money. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's a bit too much.
Buddy, I'm not the one who's on stream being beat 3-0 right now.
I mean,
it's a little awkward.
7th place swept than I don't know. I don't think either of us were too happy.
You know, none of us are in the position to talk smack right now. This is not our tournament.
Oh, yeah.
We're just embarrassing ourselves at this point.
I believe.
But you know who's not embarrassed? Cards of the Heart for that great performance. And he's probably the only person who knows the outcome of this next match. But Ty and Tetris Attacker, I feel like these two have met in many tournaments before. I think the first one I remember them meeting was in PPL back in 2020. I think they played in losers bracket. But they have a storied history. They're definitely underdogs as far as the rest of the tournament goes, but one of them's going to come out ahead and face off against the winner we just saw, Cards of the Heart. Cards, what are you thinking about playing either a rematch against Ty or facing against this Tetris Attacker losers run that's just gone on a tear so far?
I don't know what to think about V-Hard in general, because, I mean, I've already seen some Bowsers do quite a bit of work on all the players in this field. It feels like there's not a single person that has gotten out of a set of V-Hard races completely unscathed from Bowser. So all bets are off on how the rest of this field will go for V-Hard. It is all V-Hard all the way through the rest of the way for our players, and we will see how these other two losers quarterfinalists will be handling the perils of V-Hard in just a little bit, but Forky, Foxy, I've got to hand it to you too for bringing the hype sufficiently for such a hype matchup. So let's give a shout out again to BB, Forky, and Foxy Man for stepping in and calling such a hype match that we just saw.
Yeah, my play may have deteriorated, and my English may have as well, but thank God I can still commentate a little bit. It's the only thing I got left.
I don't think I'll ever forget the time you came in to commentate the PPL. I think it was PPL 2020 tournament where it was like, wasn't there? It was like the
It was
world
2021,
was
I believe.
2021.
Yeah, it was Tayman versus FFR.
Tayman versus FFR. That
world
was one of the
record live.
hypest matches we've had in the history of these tournaments. That you just happened to stumble in off the road, seemingly came and commentated a match, and you always show up at just the hypest moments.
Oh, it might have been 2020. I might have gotten that wrong. I don't know, but it happened sometime. And Tayman ended up winning that match, which is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Tayman went on to win that whole thing, but at what cost, as the meme tends to go. So
I
yeah,
do want to mention
Go ahead.
one last thing, though, before we cut out here, because this
please.
is why I'm looking at this past bracket, because Foxy mentioned they played in 2020. This is a breakout tournament, I'd say, for Ty and Tetris Attacker. I think they've both finished top 4 in the past, but it's been a while for both of them. When they played in PPL 2020, they played each other in losers quarterfinals just like this, and Tetris Attacker managed to get this win. So Ty looking for a little bit of revenge here, and both of them looking to get back into that top 4, especially in today's competition. It is so hard to get into the top 4.
Has Ty finished
sure.
in the top 4 yet in a tournament?
It's a good question. I mean,
been
I want to
really
say
close.
no, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has. It's just like, because you always have cards in FFR. Yoshi's been joining a lot. Tayman's always here. You got B-Fin now. Me and you, Foxy, have been in some previous ones. Tetris Attacker, 6. I mean, the list goes on. It's so hard, man. You run into a killer. We had, who was it, 6 versus someone first round, and you're like, what the heck? These guys would be like top 5 players. And all of a sudden, you have to play to duel it out, because that's how deep our tournament pool is now. It's crazy.
I mean, we throw out 6 because he hasn't had the best tournament finishes around, even though he did win one of our side events for Kirby's Avalanche. So shout outs to Puyo for making that possible. But 6 has even upset FFR Pro in V-Hard play. Like there's a 4-1 result out there in a tournament for 6 ahead of FFR. So our field is so deep. Like, we've got killers every single step of the way here. Like just looking at the winners bracket again, Yoshi and FFR at the top fighting earlier, and then TA, Foxy, Tayman, me, Ty, B-Fin. There are no easy outs left in this field, and the run that Tetris Attacker's been on right now, we added an extra round to the tournament to accommodate 2 extra players. Tetris Attacker had to play in that first losers bracket round and has gone all the way through to make it to this top 6 so far. And we're going to see if Tetris Attacker is going to continue that run, or if I'm going to get the chance to avenge my loss to Ty right after this. So if you're watching live, don't run off too far. We've got one more great match for you, and it is coming at you right after this. So stick around. You're watching the League of Puzzle Speedrunners Tetris Attack Speedrun Tournament 2024.